Hey, welcome to our explainer. We're always told that being book smart is the fast track to getting ahead in life. But is that really the whole story? Turns out, it's not. Today, we're going to dive into the science that shows us the real skills, the ones that go way beyond grades, that actually predict success. And it all starts with one huge question.
So let's just get right to it. If it's not just about getting straight A's or acing a test, what is it? What really sets people up to thrive, in their careers, their relationships, just in life? The answer is probably not what you think. Okay, so first things first, we've got to look past the whole idea of IQ. For literally decades, we've been obsessed with one very specific type of intelligence. But it's only half the picture. To really get this, you have to know there are two main kinds of intelligence. On one side, you have crystallized intelligence. This is basically all the stuff you know. Facts, vocabulary, dates, it's what you'd use on a game show. But on the other side, there's fluid intelligence. And this is the real game changer. It's not about what you know, but how you use what you know to solve a brand new problem. It's all about creativity and adaptability. So, what's the engine driving that fluid intelligence? Well, according to neuroscientist Adele Diamond, the secret sauce is something called executive functions. These are the mental skills that let us take our knowledge and actually do something with it. So, what exactly are these powerhouse functions? Let's take a look inside the brain's command center. Honestly, the best way to think about executive functions is like the air traffic control system for your brain, right? It's not about how many planes of information you have circling up there. It's about how well you manage all of them, how you direct your attention, keep your emotions in check, and guide your actions to land safely at your destination, your goal. And this whole system is built on three core skills. First, you've got inhibitory control. That's your mental brake pedal, the thing that stops you from grabbing your phone in the middle of a conversation. Then there's working memory, which is kind of like your brain's sticky note. It holds information in your head just long enough for you to use it. And finally, there's cognitive flexibility. That's your ability to switch gears, to look at a problem from a totally different angle when your first approach isn't working. Now, to see one of these skills, that inhibitory control in real time, we have to talk about one of the most famous and, frankly, cutest experiments in the history of psychology. Okay, picture this. A 4-year-old kid is sitting at a table, and in front of them is one perfect, fluffy marshmallow. A researcher comes in and says, look, you can eat this one marshmallow right now, but if you can wait for me to come back, you'll get 2. And then they leave the kid alone. Some kids just gobble it up immediately, but others, they fight. They cover their eyes, they sing songs, they do anything to distract themselves from that marshmallow, all for that bigger reward. So years and years later, the lead researcher, Walter Mischel, checked back in with all these kids. And what he found was absolutely incredible. The amount of time a kid could wait for that second marshmallow, it directly predicted higher SAT scores. It predicted how well they could handle stress and how successful they were at achieving their goals even decades later. That tiny moment of self-control at age 4 had ripples that lasted a lifetime. Okay, so we know self-control is a huge deal, but it doesn't work in a vacuum. It goes hand in hand with another massive piece of the puzzle, your mindset. It's not just about what you can do, it's about what you believe you can do. The brilliant Stanford researcher Carol Dweck figured out that we all tend to lean one of two ways. Some people have a fixed mindset. They believe that intelligence is something you're born with. You're either smart or you're not. So they avoid challenges because they don't want to risk looking dumb. But other people have a growth mindset. They believe that their abilities can be developed, like a muscle. So for them, a challenge isn't a threat, it's an opportunity to learn and get better. And here's where it gets really interesting. We can actually shape these mindsets, especially in kids. When we tell a kid, you're so smart, we're actually, accidentally, encouraging a fixed mindset. They get scared of losing that smart label. But when we praise their effort, when we say, wow, you worked so hard on that, we're teaching them that the struggle is what matters. We're building a growth mindset from the ground up. So, here's the best news of all. These critical skills, executive functions, self-control, that growth mindset, they aren't set in stone. Not at all. They are muscles, and the more we work them out, the stronger they get. So let's talk about how to do that. So first up, praise the process, not the person. Focus on their hard work, their strategies, their grit. Second, encourage their lemonade stands. Whatever passion they have that they're really into, that's where they learn true focus. Third, play games with rules. Something as simple as Simon Says forces them to practice that inhibitory control. And finally, just talk about feelings. Helping kids understand their own emotions helps them understand others, which is a huge part of cognitive flexibility. When you really boil it all down, our goal shouldn't be to just stuff our kids' heads full of facts. The real goal is to build the kind of mind that can actually use those facts, a mind that's focused, resilient, flexible, and self-controlled. So I guess the question for all of us is, what's the one skill you're going to start nurturing, in yourself or in someone else, starting today?